I don't ever want to leave.
I know. Just a little ledge underneath there. There we go.
Oh.
And with Josie, you might have to just barely squeeze the bottle like consistently. So that, and same thing with the other one too, maybe just a little bit. So cute. So she'll reach.
There you go.
So just a little ledge underneath there. There we go.
Oh, I don't ever want to leave.
I know. So Zoe is a little over a year old, about 14 weeks now, or not 14 weeks, 14 months. She was born on December 16th. Zoe, are you looking for a snack?
She's like, yes, I am. You're my kind of girl.
Mhm.
I went to the stranger again.
Sorry. You gotta open your mouth, silly.
She's so sweet. Every day? Is that
Yes,
part
so
of
the
their-
two older ones that you guys have, Rosie and Josie, they get a bottle twice a day, so morning and afternoon. And then
Every time I tell people, I'm like, I love sloths. I've loved sloths since I was little. They're like, sloths, really? They're so cute.
They
I
are.
love them.
Yep.
Possums and armadillos. Those are my
all the cute little furry things.
I
I have a
love
couple, but
them.
if you want to get some from your angle.
Be her leave, so that way she's distracted there for a second. We'll see if we can get her to look kind of this way for a picture. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe.
She's quicker than she lets
Yep.
on, isn't she?
Yep. So a lot of people say like, oh, sloths are so slow. She's pretty quick. Yeah.
Listen, I speed up for
She would
snacks,
outrun
too.
the turtles.
For snacks too.
Yeah, this morning I was holding her and she did not want me to put her down. So I put her in her hammock and then she immediately climbed out and I stayed in the room with her just to make sure she was okay, and she's climbing all over her encounter.
Tell me this is not what I look like in bed when I need to say, I need snacks.
She was climbing all over her enclosure trying to get me, and I'm like, well, let's just get some exercise then.
Right?
But she was fast.
What do I gotta do to
Yeah.
get the treats? Oh, I love them. They're so cool. What does her normal diet consist of?
So, as when she was a baby, her main diet was cooked brown rice. So with kangaroos, when they're born, when they first go in the pouch, the mom, and they attach to the teat as soon as they're born, but the mom is pushing milk to the baby, so they don't have a strong suckle. So that's why, as they're being bottle fed, you kind of got to press it a
Yeah,
little
gotta
bit.
show 'em.
Yeah, otherwise they'll just kind of like
Are you a lazy?
mouth it. Raw sweet potato that we shredded and like finely chopped, and then a pellet that we would soak, and then we'd turn it all into like a big mash.
Yeah.
And so spoon feed that to her.
What's her, like, what would be considered her treats? Like, what are some of the sweet things?
Fruit, so banana. Yeah. So we have to really limit their fruit because it too much messes up their gut bacteria, and so it can cause digestive issues. So it's predominantly going to be vegetables.
Yeah.
And they actually don't drink water. I mean, they do, but it's not.
Not like
In
we
the
do.
wild, they don't seek out water individually, and
That
so
makes
they
sense.
get their water consumption from their food,
That makes sense.
or like water if it rains on the leaves and stuff like that. So anytime that they have to climb down to the jungle floor, they're putting themselves in danger,
Yeah.
and so they really kind of avoid that. So which is why their bodies have adapted to just be able to consume their water from their food. So it's more of a survival thing for them. Of course, we always provide water, but
Yeah.
they never
Not something
drink
seek out
it.
water.
Yeah,
So you have 3 sloths?
3. Yeah,
Okay. And so where does she fit in the like?
she's in the
hierarchy?
middle as far as age goes.
Mhm.
So our adult is in this room here. His name's Flash, and he is about 6 years old, and he weighs about 15 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
She weighs about, I think we weighed her just the other day, I think 11 pounds now. And she's just over a year old. So she's got like a little bit of weight to put on, but not really. So she's more so got, she needs to put on, but not really. So she's more so got, she needs to be growing like body-wise length, and because compared to Flash, our adult, he's probably lengthwise double her length.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of her length.
Oh, wow.
So a lot more arms and torso.
Mhm.
So she's got growing to do that way, not necessarily weight growth.
Are the males usually bigger than the females?
Typically, but not.
Is smaller? Is it?
Yep. So yeah, and then we have Dash, which is he's another male, but he's just a baby. He's maybe 6 months old now. Do you want some more? Or are you done?
Their little teethers are so cute.
Yep. So she's got, all sloths have 16 teeth, 4 of them, so 2 on top, and those are the ones that you see in the front there while she's eating. So those are her sharp ones, and then everything else is in the back like molars. But they stay very sharp because every time they eat, their front teeth are rubbing against each other, and so they stay very sharp on their own.
Is that good? Oh my gosh.
That is one of her favorite activities, is just eating.
I mean, it's my spirit animal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you guys ever have to trim their nails?
So their bone on their toe, or actually these would be considered fingers, the front ones, and then the back ones would be considered their toes. But the bone actually goes into the very tip of their nail.
Oh.
And so it's not like ours, like my nails when they grow out, it's just all nail. So their nail is actually, their bone is underneath there.
Wow.
And so it doesn't get trimmed. I think when they were, when she was younger, if it was kind of sharp just because she's holding on to you, maybe we filed it just a little bit to get rid of that sharpness, but you don't trim their nails at all.
I always had the notion that they were coarse and she's
Yeah.
actually pretty soft.
Yeah, it's definitely, they look like they would have coarse hair, like a wire terrier or something, but it's a lot softer than what you think. What you sniffing, Zoe? There's mangoes over here.
Oh, she's like,
So
fruit.
so their sense of smell is very, very good.
Yeah. She's like, why are you feeding me this leafy stuff?
Yeah,
There's fruit right
a little
there.
switcheroo there.
Yeah.
She hasn't had mango yet, but she definitely smells them over there.
Is bananas, are they her favorite?
So far, yeah, that's the only fruit that I'm aware of that she's had.
So they're completely domestic though right now, right? She would be, like you
Yes.
guys aren't trying to rehabilitate
Right,
her?
no. So she was born in captivity and she will remain in captivity. So sloths are not endangered as far as their species goes, and so as far as conservation goes, it's important to keep their habitat and not to destroy the rainforest and the space that they need, of course. But as far as sloths go, as a species, they're not endangered. And so none of our sloths are from the wild. We do have some sloth bracelets that when you buy them, it supports sloth conservation in Costa Rica.
Yeah, that's where we were.
And the bracelet's just a bracelet, but then it comes with an app, and then once you open up the app, it'll tell you where the sloth that you sponsored is at in the rainforest.
Oh, that's
So it'll have like a little GPS
That's awesome.
tracker on there. So we do have those.
That's so cool.
Zoe's just mound down the spinach.
I love it. Snack time.
Yeah, their hands are
That's so cool.
fascinating with just those 2 little fingers on it, with that big pad. Huh?
Yeah.
So she's a 2-toed sloth, or they're now calling it 2-fingered sloth because again, arms and fingers for the front. And then there's a 3-toed sloth. And so 3-toed sloths are the ones that you usually see on the internet. They have kind of like really dark eyes that look like makeup almost.
Yeah, that look scary.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So that would be the 3-toed. Those are the ones that are going to be in Costa Rica. And 2-toed sloths are going to have the same general environment also, as geographical environment. But I don't know, I guess it's geographical environment. But I don't know, I guess 3-toed sloths are like more, there just seems like they're more popular because they look different. Like you can identify them a little easier.
Really cool.
Versus Zoe is just kind of like all brown and maybe doesn't have the markings that are, she's still cute though.
She is.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So 2-toed sloths are a lot, I would say, less complicated to keep in captivity because they can have a varied diet, like she's eating spinach right now. A 3-toed sloth, they only eat leaves from a sarcopia tree, which we don't have here in the US.
Right.
And so when you see sloths here in the US, you see 2-toed sloths, which is for that reason, because they just can't be successfully kept in captivity.
Yeah.
They need to stay in their country of origin because that's where the leaves are in their food supply. But Zoe loves her spinach.
Yeah, she does.
We can eat that here all day long. So we're kind of expanding her diet a little bit more, and so she does a lot of zucchini and squash and sweet potato. So she had that as a baby, but we're doing more of that. And then maybe a little bit of apple here and there, again, fruit. and then a banana very once in a while, like maybe once a week as like one bite
Yeah.
thing.
So them in the wild, when they're like in Costa Rica,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, whenever they're out there looking for something to
Mm-hmm.
eat,
They're looking for leaves.
They're looking for leaves.
Yeah,
So
they're not looking for bananas or anything other than that. Especially the three-toed sloth,
Okay.
because they're only going to be able to eat leaves from the sarcopia tree. But yeah,
If
so
they
they're
found a big old bundle of bananas, they
Yeah.
would just mow them all down.
well, I don't know, but I would say it's so banana trees are going to be like way down at the bottom of the
Yeah.
forest floor
Oh, yeah. So
and
you're
or jungle floor.
There might be
And-
that one wife up there. Oh,
Yeah, you love me, you'll get them.
But to them, that's dangerous. to
Right,
get down.
exactly. And so I would imagine they're not going to be, risking it all for a banana.
Yeah, that better be a really good banana. Oh, you are the sweetest thing ever. Yes, you are.
Zoe's definitely curious and she likes to sniff around and explore.
So cute. You ready to hold her?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm watching.
She feels different than the ones that we held in Honduras.
Yeah.
So the ones in Honduras did you hold the three-toed sloths then?
I need to
Or
look
do you
at the
remember?
pictures and look.
I think so. Yeah, he was
I'm
bigger,
pretty sure.
just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, he was. They're so cool though. I just find them fascinating. Like they're
Yeah.
just not like cats and dogs, which we have a ton of those too. But it's just
Your little noses are working.
Yep. So their eyesight is really poor. They, as you see, her eyes just has like a little pinprick for
Yeah.
a pupil, and so they see black and white or in grayscale. So they don't see color at all, and it's almost like tunnel vision, like looking through little paper towel rolls.
oh jeez.
And so, and I would say also that they don't really have a depth perception.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why I say that is Flash, our adult, he comes out on this branch here when we feed him.
Yeah.
And one day we left this door open because we were just in and out of there. It's like when we first moved Zoe in here. And he just went in and went into Zoe's enclosure, which her enclosure is, he's never been in there before.
Oh yeah.
And so we can kind of see there's like a tree and branches painted on the wall and the ceiling and stuff. And he was reaching for the branches that were painted, thinking that he could reach for them. But our eyes, we could tell that it's painted, it's flat,
Oh,
right?
It's one dimensional.
And so he was like,
What is going on
yeah,
here?
why can't I get it?
Aww.
So that's what I'm like,
Yeah.
probably not very good depth perception either.
Kinda.
All that eating wore her out.
Yeah. See, I'd have to put on a baby sling to get any work done around here because I never want to put her
Yeah.
around.
She'd probably just hang there.
Pretty much, yeah.
When they sleep, they're still hanging somewhere, right?
Right. Yeah, because they have hammocks here and they love hanging in their hammocks, but in the wild they don't build nests and they don't have. I mean, what probably their favorite is a branch that would have a Y to it, and they're gonna kind of sit in that little nook of the Y. But they could just free hang like on this. They just free hang and they'll kind of like ball up and then sleep, just hanging there. So yeah, you can hear them breathing.
Yeah. I thought that was her. But
Yeah.
They're so cool.
Yeah, with the cold weather, we brought them in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully spring is on the way. We sure hope anyway.
I know, I was debating on wearing shorts today, and I was like,
Yeah. It's
Okay,
the worst
maybe
when
not
the
ready
sun
yet.
goes down though because
I
it's
know,
cold.
yeah.
It's like there's no residual warmth.
so when they're born, they're really dark brown, and they don't have any of that blonde hair or anything like that. They're just solid, all dark. And
How
then
big
as
are
they
when
get
they're
older,
born?
they
How big are they when they're born?
less than 1.5 pounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so maybe probably closer to 1 pound.
And they're not a marsupial type, right?
So they'd be actually closely related to an anteater
Oh,
and
yeah.
armadillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did know that. Yeah, I don't know why but
They're also, what's the word? Like they're not social.
introvert.
Well, that too. Solitary.
Solitary.
Oh.
Yeah, so they are solitary animals. So they don't have family groups.
Oh.
They don't have social groups at all.
So
like
I
primates. They just like their little solo life. The only time that they would meet up with another sloth is for mating, which takes 1 to 2 minutes, and then off they go, separate. So daddy
mean-
they got one job, and then that's the only thing that they do fast. Off they go.
How many
One baby.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what they can support, and so they just have one baby at a time.
Yeah. What about in their lifetime? How many will they?
Well, so they reach sexual maturity at around 3, and they're not made to like crank out babies. So I would say, let's just say every 2 years. Now I'm terrible at math, so maybe somebody else can answer this one for me. But their average, well, so far, we know that the oldest sloth was 54 range, and she was in Germany. And then there was another sloth that was like 52. So we think that they can live actually older than that, but that's the age that we know for sure.
Yeah.
So whatever the math is between, let's just say 3. One baby every 3 years, let's say, starting at the age of 3 to 54.
Oof.
Whatever that is.
I would hope at that age.
I would say it's not going to be that clockwork.
Yeah.
But.
And after their babies are grown, they don't stay with.
Nope. So the mother weans the baby at about 5 months, roughly. So the baby's born, immediately attaches to mom like a little monkey or a primate, and then nurses on her for about 4 weeks. So it's not super long compared to other mammals. And then the baby is actually eating leaves and reaching for leaves as early as 4 days old.
Oh, wow.
And are
That's
able
a self-sufficient kid.
Pretty much. So from day one, they're like getting urged of like survival mode. And so then at 4 weeks, they're done nursing. About, it's like between 3 and 5 weeks, but let's just say 4 weeks. And then at 4 or 5 months is when the mom physically weans the baby off of her, and the baby's on
like, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. You're out. Then they're on their own. Oh, and they're weigh about 1.5 pounds at that point. So if you think about this little 1.5 pound baby, like, boop, there you go.
Yeah. What's their biggest predator?
The harpy eagle. Which is the largest eagle in the world. It's like a human.
Huge, massive.
Yes.
Yeah. Terrifying.
They steal monkeys out of the trees.
Yeah.
And so that's their biggest predator.
Wow.
Because the eagle, where they hang out is in like pretty much the tree tops. There's another sloth in there. So if you hear movement.
What is that?
Yeah. That's our baby's in there. He's in there hanging out, Dash. Yeah, you see the little towel moving every now and then.
Oh my God.
He hears us out here. So they'll be, circling above the treetops looking for movement. And so their defense, everybody's like, well, how do they stay away from predators? Number one is just
they're slow.
Being undercover. Yeah, like their whole goal is just to not be seen.
Yeah. So
being solo or being solitary animals helps them conceal themselves because you don't have big groups of them. Their color, so they kind of naturally camouflage. And then how slow they are. So when the eagle's soaring above the trees, they're looking for movement. And because they're so slow, they can really just go undetected. Versus monkeys or bouncing around. Yeah, you can see. Or, eagles have excellent vision. So they would be spotted a lot faster. So that's their main defense is just be
slow.
Just go through life completely unnoticed. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's awesome.
And in the wild, they're going to have moss and algae and stuff growing on their fur. And so that really helps with their camouflage also. Yeah. In the wild, they also have a moth that lives on them called the sloth moth. And there's like about 150 insects living in their fur at any one point in time. Which is like, no thank you.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't be able to handle that one. Yeah. Don't want to be a sloth.
Not be holding one in the wild.
Yeah. And the sloth moth actually benefits the sloth's digestive system and their health. So they're consuming nutrients through their skin from the insects, and then bacteria and from the insect themselves and the droppings and stuff that are going to be licking it on their fur. And so that actually helps their gut bacteria, which in a positive way. Yeah.
That's amazing. They're so cool. See, I don't understand why people don't think that they're awesome. Like, they're so cool.
Yeah.
And definitely a very adaptive animal to their specific environment, right?
Exactly, which is pretty neat how they've adapted and, to their own little part of the world for survival. Yep.
Are those your ears?
Yes. Aren't they cute? So let's see now that she's holding still.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, just a little ear.
Looks like a little monkey ear.
It does.
Isn't it cute?
Oh my gosh, that's
It's
the
just hidden
cutest
under all
thing
that
ever.
hair.
I was like, I was like, wait, that's an ear. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's an ear.
Yep.
Oh, she's too cute. Best birthday present ever.
Yay. Do you want to switch? Do you want to hold her for a little bit before you guys' time's up?
I better.
Just to knock it off the... Hey. Oh, and just do that earlier. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Okay, bye. Okay. All right, Miss Zoe.
Time to switch.
Now that you're all sleeping and snuggly,
I know,
after
right?
all that work, all that eating, all that spinach. So I'm going
What's
to,
gonna be easiest for you?
I'm gonna sneak my hand underneath here, and that's kind of for cute. I'm gonna go on her right side there, and she's gonna smell me and then reach over.
Oh,
There we
how
go.
sweet is that?
Hi, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so same thing I did with her is she's gonna reach for you, move that, and just a ledge underneath her bum there.
Mhm.
There you go.
See? Oh, isn't she so sweet?
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, you can
Squeeze
take
her.
as many pictures and videos. You're not gonna bother her at all.
Look at that face. Oh, she's the sweetest thing. Oh, she needs something to give her treats. She said, let's stay.
Yeah, it was really hard to this morning when she did not want to be put down, and she was just like clinging on to me. I'm like, I gotta take care of the other animals, Zoe.
Isn't that weird for them? Like she's supposed to be a solitary animal.
Right.
Isn't that weird for them? Like she's supposed to be a solitary animal.
Right.
Right, and then but yet she's
Wants to be with us.
wants to be loved by you.
So in the wild, so there's a difference between captivity and wild when it comes to their behavior based on how they're raised. So, and I always imagine it as take a cat or a kitten that was born in a dumpster and all it knows is survival.
Right.
Well, if you try to approach that cat and as it gets older, it's gonna be like, and it runs off. It wants nothing to do with you.
Pig's cat.
Yeah, versus if you have a kitten that was raised in your household from day one, loved on, bottle fed, let's say. She was not bottle fed, but you kind of get there's a huge difference. It's the same potential
Whether
cat.
feral or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So it would be the same thing with sloths or any wild animal, and so as far as in captivity, Zoe was held as early as like 4 weeks old when she was done nursing. So she's pretty much known that from that's what she's used to. Yeah. Now Flash, our adult, he's not used to being held. He was never held or raised the same way that Zoe was.
Oh.
Okay.
So for him to reach for us, so he's used to holding onto something solid and a branch that's, hard. She likes that cup holder that's right here. I think something spilled in there at one point, so
Like
now
that,
as soon as she
really
smells it,
smells
she's
it.
like, just wants to lick it. She always finds the cup holder.
I mean, maybe we smell my lotion. It is pumpkin spice. It does kind of smell like snacks.
So just don't let her nibble or open her mouth on your hand, yeah. So we're trying to teach her people aren't edible.
No tasting. No
Yeah.
tasting. Although they probably smell good.
So a lot of people ask if she plays. This would be considered her play, is just kind of exploring and, looking around, stretching.
This part of her.
Yep. So it gets harder and more leathery as they get older.
I was
So
gonna
as
say
babies, it's a little
it's
soft.
very soft compared
Yeah.
to the one that we had. It was very reminded me of an old couch.
Yeah. It doesn't get better with age. Yep.
So smart. So smart. My boss, when I told her that I was taking a half day for my birthday, she's like, "Well, what are you guys doing?" I was like, "We're going to a farm so that I can hold a sloth." And she's like a sloth?
Like a sloth.
Like
sloth?
a sloth.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yep, that's what I'm doing." She's like, "That's what you want to do for your birthday?" I was like, "And feed some kangaroos." I'm like, "Yes, best birthday ever."
So she's just trying to move your hand here.
Oh,
I don't like
So
it.
it's adding pressure there. So she's like, move it.
King Julian. So cute. And how old is?
He is Dash is like 6 months old now.
Correct.
Yeah. When we put Zoe up, I'll just show you him really quick. He's just the cutest little button.
And was he born here on the farm?
No. So he was Zoe and Dash came from the same facility. So it's a USDA licensed facility in Florida that we got both of them from. And so he was born there. And then once he's weaned from mom, then he came to us. Yeah.
She's like, I'm just gonna lay my head here. This is comfy. I like this.
And then Flash, our adult, he was already an adult when we got him, but he came from another zoo.
Is Flash in there?
So have they mingled?
I mean, they've definitely been in the same room together, and they've like touched their little toes and sniffed before. But again, it's not a social thing for them. Yeah. It's more like, what is that?
Yeah, you know, you're on my branch.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they could never mate.
In theory, they could. Yeah. I mean, because you have a male and female. So in theory, yes. Zoe still has another 2 years before she reaches sexual maturity anyway. Yeah. But we wouldn't put Zoe and Flash together for mating just because.
There she goes.
Yeah. Get out of there, Zoe. Little stinker. Because we just don't know Flash's genetics and his background, and we know where they came from genetically.
Oh, okay.
You know, our baby and then Zoe. So potentially those two, but not Flash.
Yeah, that would make sense too.
Yeah. It's just an unknown.
Background. She is the stinking cutest thing I've ever seen. See, now I am rethinking my career path of being a singer, and I should have been a biologist.
We do have an encounter called Sloth Keeper, or Sloth Keeper for the day, and you can take care of all 3 of our sloths. And I think it's like, what, a 3-hour encounter?
Correct.
And so you feed all 3 sloths and then kind of go through their daily care and all that stuff. Are you still hungry, Zoe? You still looking for stuff?
Yeah, she's like, who's got the snacks? Bring me the snacks.
Hey, Zoe. Come on. So I'm going to go put her back in her hammock. Okay. And come here, baby girl. Here's Zoe. So I'm going to put my hand underneath her bum here. And then I'm going to leave down. She'll kind of smell me and reach over.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Llama Del Rey. That's right, McKenna. We have a McKenna that works here. Following this emu here. Not sure how much service we... He's chilling. And then we're gonna go... Abu is super friendly to hang out with us whenever we're going to check. You can see the covered wagons. Abu. Go give a... Hey, Abu. I keep forgetting. Oh, yes. Buddy. You want to sit down? Oh, Abu. You're a good boy. Oh, he's pretty awesome. So we're located in Benton, Tennessee. This is Abu. We're at Ocoee Riverside Farm. The Ocoee River is right here behind us, behind the wagons. From the wagons, you can look out and see the river, or you can look at wagon and see all these awesome animals. Guys, Ocoee Riverside Farm is a really awesome visit. You can ride a boo or a camel. We do the camel rides out here on this huge pasture. We have over 30 acres here. So when you do the horse rides, you get to see the whole property. That's a great way to do it. We obviously also have sloths. I think you saw those earlier. I don't have any treats for you, buddy. I know. No treats. No scratch you. Abu loves scratches. He's a sweetheart. So both of our camels are camels. And if you ever have a hard time remembering what type of dromedary is, if you took a D and you put it on its back, it makes 1 hump. A Bactrian camel with the 2 humps would be on its side. So that's how you know that we have dromedary. So Abu is about normal size for a camel. He's 1,250 pounds. I don't know if he likes me talking about his weight. Right. But Ed over there, he's almost 2,000 pounds, which is huge for a camel. He's probably the biggest camel in North America. There might be one bigger in San Diego, but we're pretty big. We also have, sometimes he likes to sneak up behind me. Now, what other cool things we have? Oh, you don't like me talking about the other cool things? Mwah. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Mwah. Mwah. Thank you, buddy. Good boy. So some of the other cool animals that we have is Scottish Highland cows. So if you've ever wanted to come bottle feed a Scottish Highland cow, you can come do that here. And they're little babies right now. And then we have some even smaller, cuter ones that look like pandas. We'll be here soon. You can come here and do a birthday party. Boo, what do you think? You enjoying this warm? I don't have my knife. Let's try to take pocket. Can't have it. But I'll scratch you. Give you some good scratches. The hairs in his nose, they go all the way down his neck. So when he's breathing in all that hot, dusty air out in the, all those hairs inside of his nose get all the dust out, and then they actually add moisture before it goes into his lungs. And then when he exhales, all those little hairs make sure all the moisture is gone and goes out. Another cool thing about how they make sure that they use as much water as possible is when they poop. Their poop is so dry that you could probably light it with a match. So out in the desert, you know you're not going to have anything to burn. Bring your bag, can poop, your fire, your boot. Oh, let's see if we missed any. Coming over here to see if I missed. I know, he did want me to bring him some. You gonna get up? We're gonna head over here in Tennessee. We are halfway between life. And we got Damani and Alora. I was checking on one of the other feet, which is really cool. So these two ladies right here, Damani and Alora, definitely one of them has a baby in the pouch. Really, really cool. I have our first kangaroo baby here on the farm in Alora. So they're pregnant. Dad, more baby kangaroos. So you guys can actually feed these guys. Pretty awesome. But I just wanted to come out here so you guys could see this. Amazing his tail is. It's just crazy, right? So what he does is he stands up on his tail and he tries to hold whatever he's fighting with his front leg, kicks with his back. Kicked by a kangaroo. Hey, Ruff. Ruff. Good boy, Ruff. See you later, buddy. You want a little pet? Thank you, Ruff. He is alpha out here. There's only one unneutered male because if there were more, they would basically. All right, guys, we're gonna go try to catch up with a little bit of the farm tour. If we don't see you soon, we'll be putting up a lot more videos. And check out our tick shop too. We'll be doing it. Does he like belly rubs? No, not especially. We're gonna head inside. So all of those kangaroo babies